All right, all right. We are live. I want to welcome everyone tonight. There's much love in this chat room tonight. Much love to everyone. It's going to get packed in here. I know that. Those of you who have been following the marathon, I got much love for every single one of you. Much love to every one of you that made whatever contribution that you could make to help the Marathon for Summer Wells Reward Fund an extraordinary success. And indeed, it is. We could not have done anything like this without you, all of you. Those here in the United States and those abroad, from the UK, from Australia, Europe, Canada, all over the globe, that have followed the Reward Fund Marathon for 7 days straight. The first of its kind to ever hit YouTube. Well, we did it. You got to be the example you talk about, right? That's what my father told me. Be the example you talk about, because people are watching as soon as you finish talking. And it seems like today was an extraordinary day after the marathon, wasn't it? I'm so happy we completed such as a very successful endeavor to raise the reward fund from where it was, the 40, the 41,000, the 42,000, wherever it was. And then we touched it with the Summer Wells Marathon. Now look where it is. Look at where it is now. If you could ever dream of people coming together for a united cause to help, well, you've got the evidence before you. And there's some people out there that are treating this like a crime scene. I wonder why. I wonder why. This is not a crime scene. Oh my goodness. So, after trying to get as much sleep as possible, after a 20-hour final live presentation for the marathon yesterday, I had to wake up, I felt great, knowing that accomplishment, achievement, success, love, unity was a part of everything we did in those last 7 days together. I wanted to make sure that we succeeded the way we did yesterday. Before I went live yesterday, I only had 5 hours sleep after coming out of another live, which lasted about 18 hours, along with Miss Q. I took 5 hours sleep. I said, this is the final day. And as I was resting, I was listening to another content creator, Down Under Crime Talks. Everybody knows Sharon, I hope. She had the banner above her chat room for the Summer Wells Reward Fund. There were about 36 to 40 people. Now, their time zone is different than ours, but she had the banner over her chat room. And then she had the little ticker to the Civis Bank rolling, scrolling underneath her live. And just before I went to sleep, I said, hello, much love. And as I calmly went to sleep and listened to that live, I took a nap. And then I woke up. And then I said, this is the final day. This is the last run, the last push. We're going to go and hit our mark. So I got up. Everyone was surprised that John Q set up a live on his channel to finish the final run to the Summer Wells Marathon. What is he doing up, for Christ's sake? Why isn't he getting his rest? Because I had a goal in mind, and that was to make sure and to ensure the success of the marathon. From my teammates that ran with me to everyone that made the contribution to that reward fund. I take full responsibility of every single live that I have done concerning the marathon. And rightfully so, it is my responsibility to report to you the results of those lives. And so, here I am. Forgive me tonight if I don't shout you out. It's a lot of names in here, a lot of folks. I normally start off my lives with individual recognition for your time coming to my lives. So forgive me for not identifying all of you as I wish I could tonight. I wanted to address just a few things. It's not a lot, but just a few things that was brought to my attention as I had my coffee. Let's see. Yeah, about 2.5 hours ago. Coffee 2.5 hours ago? No, it wasn't morning. It was the evening because I tried to get sleep after running a 20-hour marathon. Here in New York, it's 26 miles in a marathon. 26. With all of the combined lives that I have done to cover, on my channel that is, to cover the lives, it's well over 41.5 in hours. 41 hours, 41 and a half hours I covered over the last 7 days. So I beat the 26-mile run marathon here in New York. How on earth did you do that, John Q? My answer, I didn't do it alone. I did it with other people. I did this with other people. What people did you do it with, John? Every single person who made a contribution to the marathon, to the reward fund. That's who I did it with. That's who I did it with. And that is powerful in and of itself when you look at that. No one can take that away from us. No one. No one content creator or no one subscriber, nor a group of content creators or a group of subscribers. John Q's attitude, and I'm going to be very candid tonight. I'm going to issue a trigger warning, as they call it. I don't stand for the bullshit. Everybody knows me since I've had my channel. And I'm not going to stand for the bullshit now. Because that's really what it is. And I know everyone listening to the sound of my voice right now would certainly agree. Solid bullshit. And if that's what people are interested in, I say let them go. You cannot educate stupid. You can't. You can't control what comes out of another person's mouth. You can't control their attitude on a computer. Good luck. Good luck. I'm certainly not going to try to do it. That's a waste of time. Putting words in other people's mouth is the most unsanitary thing that you can do. That's not nice. But that's what people do on YouTube. They go about taking their time doing screenshots and sharing he said, she said bullshit. Oh, like it's going to do something to somebody. They're excited. Holy shit. And then they're sharing it with other people like something magnificent is going to happen out of it. Wow. If people waste their time doing that, God bless you. The funny thing about it is that the truth is revealed. Always. You reflect your character on YouTube like you do Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat, like in any other place, but you're doing it on a computer, and people see the truth about you. They know when you flip flop and when you don't. They know when you're a drama starter and when you're not. They know when you're a shit kicker and when you're not. So today has told me a lot in a short period of time after coming up from my sleep. From last night's marathon, I know that I needed to address some things because there were a couple of times I had to address them during the last marathon live. And I did. It was one of the most brilliantly done, successful marathons that I am proud. I am very proud to say that we have all done together for Summer Wells. We have made an impact, and they feel it down there in Rogersville, Tennessee. Believe me, they do. And they're going to continue all this week, into the following week, into the following month. They know who we are now. We just didn't sit up on YouTube listening to each other and not try to do anything about what happened on June 15th to Summer Wells. We didn't do what Donald and Candace did on YouTube. Did we? No, of course not. Why waste time doing that when we did the marathon? So, to be the example you talk about, you have to show the example so other people can see what you're talking about. Well, the last 7 days puts it on the table now before you, doesn't it? I don't think for everyone that contributed to the fun, they would call it bullshit. And if you have these tinkering content creators out there sprinkling the bullshit, guess what? You know it already. You know who supported what we did, and you know who didn't. And once you can discern, which is a major part of tonight's live, I say cue the truth. Cue the truth. Once you can discern the truth, then you can cue the truth. So I'm cueing the truth tonight. People got questions about John Q. I'm here. I got some questions about you too. Why are you on YouTube? What are you doing? That's just starters, but I'm not going to really bore you with that. I come here to do one specific thing, and that is to give discernment and integrity to this marathon that we just got finished completing. Point blank, period. So I intend to do just that tonight. People can run around all day talking about this and talking about that, talking about he, talking about she, talking about we, talking about they, talking. What you do speak so loud, what you say, I can't understand sometimes. I don't sit around trying to understand it either. I don't. I don't waste my time. Anybody that knows me and knows my content knows that I don't waste my time. Not going to. It's not productive. That's not what God has called us to do. Called us to do something else better, something else that turns the table. And damn, did we turn the table? No one saw this coming. No one saw this coming. I'm glad because when it just appeared as a thought, all things start with thought. You have to have it in mind before you have it in mind, if you know what I'm talking about. You have to have it in you first in order to act it out, manifest your thought. That's where the truth lies. See? If you hold it as a secret and don't tell anybody, okay, you have your private thoughts. But if you don't hold it and you physically put action behind the thought itself, hence there's the truth. And you can't miss that. Just like you didn't miss what happened today. So I'm here to just give you some discernment as the first part of tonight's live. Those that made a major contribution to this successful marathon, 7 days in a row, to the very final hour, made it a success, gave of themselves, probably some people out there that didn't have maybe 2 nickels to rub together, but conjured up whatever little they had to support changing the reward from fund from where it is to where it is now. And I thank those people sincerely with all my heart. Everyone made a major contribution to this. So it's everyone's success. I'm going to say to you, don't let whoever is in this community take that away from you by pointing the fingers back and forth at each other, or trying to anyway. They can make no more of an impact than the impact of what we made on the Summer Wells Reward Fund. See? It is right there on the table. Now let them talk shit. That's what they're doing now. Well, where you been today? Have you been to, let's see, who do I have on my list? Have you been to Tiffany Marie's channel? I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. I wonder what she had to say about how sincerely proud she is that we have successfully did a marathon and changed the reward fund figures dramatically. Because she was the one who brought it to my attention and other content creators. We all subscribe to her, okay, about Summer Wells Reward Fund. That woman worked diligently hard to get the word out. Every single line she did about Summer Wells, it was always the reward fund. And it touched me. I said, wow, this content creator is out there and, you know, trying to help, trying to do something. Did she do that today? Hmm? Hence the truth. See, I don't have to do 2 and 3 hour lives just to get to my point, do I? All you got to do is look at the end result. Then you know where people stand. So I say thank you for giving us the truth. Mr. Scott had a live. Miss Penny had a live. Miss Q had a live. What did they cover on their channels? If you were there, you would know. After a nonstop 7 days, I was surprised to find out that Miss Q went live covering questions. Questions about what? We had a successful live. We have a successful marathon. 7 days. I got much love for Miss Q for handling such a huge responsibility covering that marathon. You have no idea of how many hours she put in, what she had to manage in terms of the merch store. I'll tell you a little bit about the merch store since we're on that topic. I know y'all want to hear it, so I'm going to give it to you. There was some Summer Wells collection there. Q put in the store and designed. All for the fundraiser. All for the fundraiser. That's what she decided to do, to use as a way that we can fundraise, give a product to anyone who was interested in a commemorative item with summer on it. For those that followed the case, for those that wanted to help. That's what she did. Oh, it's a great idea. She used her store as a tool to help change the fund from where it was. Not just post a banner, a ticker banner underneath her lives and say, hey, write a check, write a check, write a check. Obviously, the fund didn't move. Did it? Maybe a little bit. I'm not gonna zero it out. No, maybe a little bit for those that wrote a check. I'm with you. Thank you. But the fund didn't move. Somebody sent in $10 or $20 or $25 or $50, whatever it is that they gave, writing a check. Boom. Much love to you for doing that. That's supporting the fund, the reward fund. And that's what you did. If you did, that's what you did. And my love goes to you for doing so. It was only spoken about for, oh, well over a month, 2 months. This child has been missing 4 months now. Where was that fund before the marathon? You do the math. You do the math. Put the numbers right there on the table. Now ask yourself, did that fund really, really move from the 38,000 that it started, 38.5, 38.4, 38.9, wherever it started? It's up to 40,000, 41,000, 41,000, wherever it is, it is. That to me tells me it was a very slow growth going into the fund. This child has been missing 4 months. Hmm? So the evidence on the table is okay, with all of the 4,500 people in the Rogersville area, you mean to tell me that that's all they could do for Summer Wells? Okay. Okay. Well, that's what they did. And for those living outside of Rogersville across the United States that wrote a check and made a contribution, good, because it did help. It is helping. The idea to do the marathon came out of nowhere, actually. Sitting in a chat room with three other content creators having a discussion like everybody else is doing on their lives. And then the idea just floated in a moment to see exactly what we can do to affect the reward fund. And that's where it started last Friday. Not the Friday that just passed. I'm talking about the other last Friday. That's where it started. I think it started at $170. That's a lot of money. $170. And then one thing connected to the other, which led to the idea of the merch store, which led to the idea of the Summer Wells collection in the merch store, which led to the idea of the fundraising in the merch store, from the merch store, to have a product, a good quality product going to a supporter. And 100% after costs of manufacturing the product, of putting the product together, after delivery, and all this stuff goes to the Summer Well Reward Fund. 100%. 100. I said, wow, that's incredible. For Miss Q to get that arranged, set it up and arrange it, and boom, the next thing you know, another one wanted to get a t-shirt, another one wanted to get a jacket, another one wanted to get a hoodie. And they were giving her orders left and right to say, "Oh, do you do this?" And "Oh, do you do that?" And she's writing down everything and "Okay, well, I'll see if we got that color." And she'd take them to the store, and this is how you get to the store. This is the colors we have. And she's doing, and slowly but surely things began to evolve. And so we stayed on it. I said, if we could raise some kind of money that would affect what? What was the original idea? Oh, impact the reward fund, to the Summer Wells Reward Fund. by the Civis Bank? Yeah, okay. And that's what happened. One thing connected to the other, and we kept going. And there was just a few content creators there. Word got out over YouTube. Next thing you know, 170 turned into 500, turned into 1,000, turned into 1,500, turned into 2,000, turned into, oh my goodness. Well, what other way could we use as a venue in addition to the merch store? So a PayPal and a Cash App was in place to handle direct donations. If people decided to use that venue, that was their choice. All we had to do is just let them know what was available, which we did, and they chose the best option that was available to them that they selected. And we found that a lot of people not only bought the merch from the merch store, from the Summer Wells collection, they started donating direct PayPals and Cash Apps also. That's what they did. And now we have to maintain how long we're going to do this. hmm. Okay. So from that Friday, we continued. We stayed on as long as we could. We found out what the total was and said, you know something? We're making an impact. This could really help the reward fund from the Civis Bank tremendously. So what do? We come back the next day and pick up where we left off. And we did it again. When we did it again, we spent longer hours doing it. Those hours turned into nearly almost days, which they did. And then something strange happened. And it happened regarding maybe a comment, a statement, a word by someone about what we were doing. Someone had some kind of feeling about, oh, Summer's face is on merchandise, and oh, this is something else. They're getting money using Summer Wells's face on merchandise. What a shame. They should be ashamed of themselves. Okay. Word got out. A little bit of word got out. And then all of a sudden, Miss Q was contacted via email that her collection, the Summer Wells collection, was taken out of the store. I wonder what caused that to happen. I want you to ask yourself that question. Yeah, the Summer Wells collection was in the store. I wonder what happened to it. Why did she, here they go, pointing the finger at Miss Q. Why did she take it out now? No, she didn't take it out. Someone else did. Someone else did. Someone else did. Someone sent a communication to the merch store and said that she didn't have consent of some kind to be doing that, using Summer's face on merchandise. So they deemed it necessary, according to their policies and their standards, to take the collection down until consent was rendered. You see where I'm going with this now, right? I know you do. Q and I talked about it. I said, okay, email them back, find out who authorized the removal of the collection. In the meantime, if you can design something in its place as a commemorative product for summer, I know you've got the creative imagination. We had obsidian in the backgrounds. Thank God for obsidian working with us. Another design was created and put in the merch store under summertime. She had to literally, we couldn't use Summer's face without consent. But the summertime collection is a design collection. It's unique in and of itself. And if you haven't been there, check it out. I'm going to give you every piece of evidence that I can so that you can discern. For those of you who may have pulled out of the marathon, I'll get to that a little bit later. But let me stay with what happened. So that's what she did. Everyone was asking, oh, where's Summer? Where's Summer? Where's Summer? And we told them, as transparent as possible. We told them collection was taken out because some kind of consent was needed. But we have something in its place as a commemorative item for summer that will still be 100% of the profits goes to the fund. You can't get lost in that. But there's some other people that did get lost in it. They didn't call Miss Q or email Miss Q about getting the facts. So they acted on partial information, came to their own conclusions, assumed how they did, and then created a story from it. And lo and behold, the bullshit hit the fan. As it does on YouTube, but that's what happened. And oh, okay. Well, we gotta deal with it, but this is more important. The work we started was more important. That's what happened. So that's the reason why the original collection had to be replaced with the summertime collection. It didn't stop the marathon, did it? Did it? No. In fact, it created more momentum for us. And momentum was created nearly instantly. And it kept us on track. And as we began to set the goals as to how far we wanted to go with it, October 15th came up. That was the date of the vigil. So we can run it from here, where we started, to the vigil. That's a good date. It's a good deadline date. That's what we did. Hour after hour after hour after hour, day after day after day, into a week. That's what we did for 7 days. But now let me back up a little bit. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's go back to this consent thing, this waiver thing. It was mentioned by another content creator that a waiver was signed and that it was okay to use Summer's face on the merch. Really? Yep. That was the word. Oh, great. Is it in writing? Yep. Was it signed? Yep. Oh. Okay, so where the hell is it? Somebody's got a signed waiver out there pertaining to the original Summer Wells collection being in the store that allowed permission to use Summer Wells' face on the merchandise for the fundraising event. Well, if you got it, why didn't Q get it? What happened? What happened? Who originally got the waiver anyway? And where is it today? Because I know Q doesn't have it. Miss Q doesn't have it. Who's got that waiver? Oh, that's not what was said, John. It was something else, and yada 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 yada. Oh. Yeah, that's right. Here comes the bullshit. I'm going to take my time tonight because you deserve answers. I'm going to give them to you. I'm going to give them to you. Everyone deserves answers. Well, here I am. Is a content creator from Cracking Cases. Content creator by the name of Cam. And I forget the other young lady he works with. My bad. I'm sorry, but I'm just focusing on the facts. Cam here was one of the content creators that visited Donald and Candace's home. Donald Wells and Candace's Bly home. They did video. They shot video of the dog trail. You remember? I said, absolutely fantastic job they did to give us that footage, up close footage. Now we know what's behind the bush. We know how far down the driveway is and everything. From the basement door all the way around to the driveway to find a trail that led to the end portion of the driveway down toward Ben Hill. They took several different routes, even the route that showed you how to get to the shed down below on Beach Creek. These are the folks that did that. I got much props and love and respect for that work. Thank you, Cam, and your partner, for doing that, because it gave us facts, factual proof as to where things, how things were and are on that property. Because there's the stranger abduction theory that actually started this whole process. You have to remember that. And if you don't, you can go back into my channel and go to Walking the Grid line of sight, or you can go to striking distance in the line of sight, because I cover that information as best as I can from the information that I was able to receive and present to you on my channel. Let's go back to Cam. Cam here said on this live, on this one, that's which was called Let's Talk About It and Message from Donald Wells. And this is my receipt for those of you who don't think one exists. Hence the receipt. It's just YouTube talk now. Receipt. People think that they're entitled to receipts. Well, if you go to the merch store, you get a receipt. If you use PayPal, you get a receipt. Or Cash App, you get a receipt. Those that are running around yelling about receipts and everything, I'd question your motive as to the reason why you're asking for a receipt when you didn't buy anything. Or if you made a contribution, you didn't get a receipt, I can understand that. But if you're entitled to a receipt, You have to have a proof of purchase, don't you? People forget the basic elements of give and take. Comes from the old bartering system. But I'm not here to get into that portion of business with you. But this business here, before you, we have to get into. Because this is the content creator that talked about the waiver. So let's hear what he has to say and listen very carefully to what he does say. Because hence the heartbeat of the matter is before you. Pay careful attention to every word that comes out of his mouth. Okay, Cam, tell us, was there permission, consent, or a waiver involved regarding Summer's face on merchandise coming from the merch store that was used as a tool for fundraising, and 100% of the profits goes to the fund, the marathon, the reward fund itself? Let's see what Cam has to say.
Called the PIs, and I will tell you this for a fact, and they will tell the truth about it. And if I have to in a later date, I will do just like I did the other day and call and let her talk to you personally. The story has not changed. It has only been added to finer detail of what has happened through everything that happened that day. There was a question asked in the chats. Candace did sign a waiver for the t-shirts. She did sign that for the reward fund. She did sign a waiver that they could use her picture for the t-shirts. That is a fact.
That is a fact. Y'all get that? Y'all get that? I know you did. I know you did. You heard it just like I did. In fact, with no hallucination on your part, I don't know if you had a couple of glasses of wine or whatever. So I will have Cam repeat what he just said so you can hear it again. Okay? Watch. Listen.
All right, I just now called the PIs, and I will tell you this for a fact, and they will tell the truth about it. And if I have to in a later date, I will do just like I did the other day and call and let her talk to you personally. The story has not changed. It has only been added to finer detail of what has happened through everything that happened that day. There was a question asked in the chats. Candace did sign a waiver for the t-shirts. She did sign that for the reward fund. She did sign a waiver that they could use her picture for the t-shirts. That is a fact.
You want me to do it one more again? You want me to do it one more again? No, I don't have to do it again. I think you heard it a second time. So where's the waiver? We have a verbal confirmation from Cam that there was one signed. Okay, so where is it? Who's got that? Was that given to Q? Answer is no. I ask why not. Who's holding that approved waiver? Why wasn't that waiver forwarded to Miss Q so that the collection can be put back in the store? Everybody say, So where is it? Who has it, and why wasn't it turned over to Miss Q? Especially a signed one in writing? Oh my goodness. This conversation that Cam is having on his live with his audience, he is making a statement of fact, and for some strange reason, this conversation went to another content creator's channel. And the channel that this information went to was Tiffany's channel, and it was being discussed. Elements of the conversation was being discussed. There was something that was mentioned on this live called the root of all evil. Why would you call it that? But that's what the title says. This conversation was had. Interesting conversation indeed. Oh, I have to bring it up. I have to escape this. Let me just go ahead and do this. Y'all see that? I think I had him. Let me do this real quick. And screen share. Once again, one more again. And just do a screen share. One more again. I gotta hide this. Just bear with me. You know how things are. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. Okay, so it ended up here. And this is where the conversation went. And this was during the time that Scott H. had a live going. Matter of fact, it was more than a live because we're in the middle of the marathon with no original Summer Wells collection in the merch store. So it had to be replaced with Summertime, which didn't stop the marathon, by the way. And I'm glad it didn't. But I was one, I'm like, why was he going to another content creator about business concerning the marathon merch store? I know billboards were a part of the conversation, and there was an independent fundraising that Cam and his partner did regarding billboards. There was an issue about $100 being given by Robin to them, or $500 being given, whatever. But I'm trying to figure out why would they have to go to another content creator to have this conversation? I don't know. But what I do know is that the conversation was had. And this content creator here was kind of upset when she left Scott's channel. She made some comments on this video that were untrue. In the beginning of this live, she was telling her audience, all of her subscribers, members, that she was thrown out of Scott's live because Scott did not allow her to come up on the panel. Scott was having a conversation with his audience, and she didn't want to wait to stick around long enough to be brought on the panel. So she assumed, like she normally does, that Scott didn't want her there. So, on her own volition and on her own accord, she stated in the comments, and you can go back to Scott's live and find them, that she was going to take a shower. She made up her mind, or did she? About going to take a shower and then return. She would be right back, and then she would go up on the panel to talk to Q about something important. However, that didn't happen. And she came and did this live and called it the root of all evil. At the same time, Scott was still live covering the marathon. Now, I'm not going to belabor this. I'm not here to do that. I want to just put it out there on the table so you can see it. Then you can go back and check for yourself. This is about discernment. Just discernment. There was something very important that did not transpire between Miss Tiffany and Miss Q. Information on this live to this point was dated October the 9th about concerns about merchandise and money. And that was Cam's concern. Whenever merch and money are used, it's very sensitive area. Something close to that effect. And you're trying to raise money to do a fundraiser. Okay. Well, I say, Cam, talk to Q. You had any concerns, talk to Q. I was wondering what this conversation was about. You were talking to the wrong person. If you had any concerns, you should have spoken to Q. But you didn't. You waiting for her to reach out to you? Well, why would she do that if she would have no reason to reach out to you for anything? You should have reached out to her with the same information you reached out to Tiffany to let her know that there was certain concerns, and at the same time too to say that you had a signed waiver. And the waiver permits and allowed Summer's face to be used on the merchandise in the store. That's what you should have done. That you didn't do that. I wonder why. So now, hence, we have an issue here. And even in this live, Tiffany mentions that she failed to do something. She failed to connect with Q about something important. And it kind of put a damper in the air about what that was. Okay, I'm not gonna do this. I'm just gonna go here, come on back, and get back to a conversation here tonight. So if a waiver was signed and approved, I know a telephone call that went to Donald on one of the channels during the marathon where Cher was talking to Donald. Chase was there talking to Cher to ask for permission from Donald and Candace about Summer's face being on the merchandise. And guess what Donald said during the course of several lives going on that night? Donald said he got the message and he would pass it on to Candace to see what she wanted to do. He didn't want to get involved. I get it. Okay. No problem. That's cool. Then when you look at Cam's video, he told you unequivocally that one was signed. So where is it? What does that tell you, by the way? Just covering that little piece of information with you. What does that tell you in your mind? So hence now we got an issue. And the issue is that Mr. Scott H called it out at the very end of yesterday's marathon. The 7th day completion of the marathon. And it was called out in such a way that I allowed it to be called out. Not that I knew, and not that I had any foreknowledge as to what Scott was going to say, because he received something that had hashtag his name, hashtag Miss Penny's name, hashtag my name, hashtag Q's name from Skeezy, also doing a live, bashing the marathon, and that the money should have a cap on it. The reward fund, that is, should have a cap on it. All this stuff. Didn't participate in any kind of contributing factor at all. Well, let me back up. The only contributing factor that this content creator did was negatively bash what we were doing. That's what he did. Just like you found out from Miss Tiffany on her live today, her 1000% support of the Summer Wells Fund as she started in the beginning. That's what she expressed. Now, there's a major concern about why I took down the live. Oh, yeah, here we go. Now he's getting to the meat and potatoes of the conversation. Yeah, because we want to know why. You're going to alter the video? You're going to change it? And I'm saying, I wonder what they found more important regarding that final day. So let me take you through it. We had guest appearances up there. We had Miss True Talks Crime, not only there on the panel, but on the ground in Tennessee. We had Miss V up there from MTGV TV, Miss V. We had Penny up there. We had Jody Sue up there. We had Miss Q up there. We had Scott up there. I was up there. We had Chris Madonna up there. I said, wow, from the interview room. And you heard pretty much, for those of you who were there, what he said. It was a much needed conversation and discussion that took place. Oh, and Miss Tiffany was there. That's how important the marathon was. People were coming back and forth, in and out, left and right, giving their support. But the question at the very end of the live was, where is it? My question is, what was more important? The true content of the live, the achievement and growth of the fund, the moment of silence and prayer for Summer Wells, the fireworks, everything that happened to it up until the very end. Let me tell you a little bit about the very end for those of you that need to have this information. The things that happened at the very end of the marathon was after the marathon. The marathon was already over when these tit for tat developments showed up. It was all said and done. We had reached 30,000 and change. We completed the marathon at midnight on time, just like we said we would. And it was a major success. at that time and at that point. Once the marathon was totally completed, we had conversation. Now we don't have to deal with any kind of business related to the marathon. The only thing that was still in action regarding the marathon were the contributions still coming in after the cutoff time. That was it. Miss Q was very busy making sure that the final number gets posted for transparency. Everything. Everything from the store, everything from PayPal, everything from Cash App. That's what she did. Meanwhile, Scott did receive something and he shared it with us during the course post marathon. Post marathon. And when he shared it with us, it was quite triggering in his mind. And he expressed himself that way. Now we get into the heartbeat of the bullshit. And for those of you who, like I said, I issued a trigger warning earlier in the live, so I hope you don't have little ones listening to this live. I like Scott for his content and his friendship. He shared with us what we didn't have. That made a lot of sense in connecting a lot of dots to the Summer Wells case that we're covering on my channel, that he's covering on his channel, that Penny is covering on her channel, True Crimes Commentary. And the both of them shared that information with me. And we actually did a live that within 24 hours, more take, give or less, it skyrocketed. I've never seen views come in so fast for the information and discussion we had on that live. He didn't have to do that. He could have kept it on his channel, but I invited him on my platform, invited Penny on my platform to discuss their content findings on this case, and that's what we did. I appreciate him and Penny for doing so. We had a very good conversation and a very successful live at that. 4 hours long, 4 and change. Remember the numbers? However, Scott is a full grown man and he takes responsibility for those things that he says and shares with his audience. On his platform or on True Crimes Commentary platform or on any platform that he decides to be a part of. And he's been a very core person in this marathon. We were given offers on the table like you would not believe. Matching dollar offers that came through Scott. Didn't come from anybody else up until later. Not once, but twice. Why? Because there was someone that believes in the integrity and security of Mr. Scott H. Like him or not, I'm telling you a fact from my perspective. And without him getting that information about matching dollars, not only once, but twice, we would have still achieved like we were, but those anonymous donors that came through, much love to you for doing that through Scott. He took responsibility for that information and he did a damn good job. He did a damn good job. Miss Penny behind the scenes did a damn good job in covering additional information that came into the marathon. Valuable information when it came to Jody Sue. And she did a damn good job. So my heart and hat is off to both Scott and Penny for doing something they had no idea they were going to do. Neither did I. Neither did Miss Q. Or anybody else who joined us on that panel and supported the marathon. So getting back to now, post-marathon, after the marathon had officially closed tight, we were done. We were just sitting there chatting and talking back and forth. He gets this message and it triggered him in some way, shape, or form after spending nearly almost 18, 19, 20 hours being up, working hard to the very end of the marathon. He gets this triggering message to where he spoke his mind on my channel. And I allowed him to do so because I wanted to hear exactly what he had to say. I deemed it important. And so he spoke. And hence, he said what he said. And hence, it ticked off some people. It shook them up. Okay. Shortly thereafter, I decided to close the marathon completely and shut the live down. And I put the live on private because I needed to make certain assessments regarding the marathon, that final live itself. Not necessarily the full content of the live, talking about post-live bullshit. And then you have another content creator out there running around and says, oh, why do you take down the live? Are they hiding something? Are they protecting each other about something? Are they having meetings behind closed doors? And, ooh, all this bullshit. Oh, man. I had to laugh between cups of coffee. I laughed so hard it came out my nose and everything. I said, oh, man. I said, this is what they want to talk about now? They're not talking about the success of the reward fund being increased well over 70% from where it was. And all of us that made a contribution to it, are the number one contributors to that reward fund. Number one major contributor to the reward fund. We ain't sitting in the back of the bus. We drove it right to the very end. And we stepped out proudly from doing so because it was a long 7-day trip. And it was not only a long 7-day trip of success, but it was a long trip through the bullshit too. We're still going through the bullshit. We will continue, most likely, on YouTube to try to deal with the bullshit too. But hence, nonetheless, they can't take the success of what has occurred now away from any one of you who's made a major contribution to that reward fund. I suggest anyone who has any quote unquote questions, go back and question the motives of some of those other people I may have talked about tonight. I've always said the truth is in plain sight. You know who's doing what because you see them doing it. No, I just gave it to you. You know who's doing what because you see them doing it. Now ask yourself one question. What happened today before I went live tonight? Hence, you'll have your answer plain and clear as water. There is no way in the world God will prevent you from seeing the truth. No way in the world. Now, for those of you who may have had second thoughts about what had occurred, we're still talking about discernment now. Okay? You know exactly what you've experienced throughout that whole entire live series over the last 7 days based on the lives that are posted on YouTube, especially as a contributor. What had occurred, everything. So now, with that said, you can discern for yourself. Was it a good thing or a bad thing? Was what we did a good thing or a bad thing to increase the reward fund? I'm going to let you decide. I'm not here to speak for anybody else but myself at this point. I'm going to let you decide. You know better than I do. That's where discernment comes from. So if anybody needs to clear up anything, it's those folks that are mentioned in my live here tonight. They didn't reach out to Q like they should have, pertaining to any important piece of information she needed to know about whether Summer's face could be on the merchandise or not. They could put Summer's face on paper flyers and hand them out through the cost and responsibility of the individual that has done that. Yes. No one's paying for anything there other than the owner of the cost of having produced flyers. However, when you talk about a merchant situation where a product is being given to a supporter as a commemorative item regarding Summer, and they voluntarily themselves make a purchase at the store like they did and find that 100% of the proceeds, the profit proceeds, goes to support the fund. Oh hell, it's a win-win right there. Oh, what is Cute Carlock making out of this? Zero. Zero. What is John making out of it? Nothing. What did any content creator out there who was on the panel make from the marathon? Zero. They put their time in. Sweat equity, if you will. That's what they did. They supported the cause because they wanted to see a change in the reward fund. And hence, damn, did we give them a change in the reward fund. Because of some little idea that grew into major support. That's God blessed. Not only God blessed, but God sent. The thing that really got me was that it cost Q much more than you think. If anyone has taken a negative hit, she has. And in ways I have never seen anyone who committed to the success of that marathon, to increase the amount well over 70%, she took a major negative hit financially, emotionally, spiritually. You're beating the hell out of the wrong people. She didn't deserve that at all. How do you do that? What does that? What on earth does that to another person trying to help? Sincerely, not only with her words, folks, I'm talking about what she did. Her action speaks louder than words for 7 days. You gotta give me a frickin' break. I don't think Chris Madonna would have showed up to a marathon if he felt in some way, shape, or form that what we were doing was wrong. Or any of the panel guests that showed up to support that marathon. Who would do that? I'm going to support your marathon because it's wrong. There's no logic to that. But what is logical is that everyone who did support it, well, hence the result is on the table. You can't take that away. Nobody can. Content creator, supporter, no, it's said and done now. Now you can talk your shit. Okay, well, here it is Sunday, and boy, were they talking shit. I love it. I said, this is the big thank you we get for doing something positive. We took phone calls last night on the marathon. Phone calls from people from all over the world, Ireland, Scotland, Louisiana, all over the world, calling in, sharing their love with us, and absolute thanks and gratitude for what we did all together. They have never seen anything like this before, neither have I. We are the example of our words. We are the example of our words. Now, hence, there's an example of a marathon on YouTube, and it was hella success. This is going to help those folks down there, boots on the ground, find summer. That's the deepest part of what motivated all of us to be there to do what we did. We want this child found. And it's a statement that was made to tell those people down there in Rogersville, stop fucking around and get to the business of finding this child. It's 4 months now. Issue after issue after issue, one behind the other. It's not law enforcement, it's the family. If it's not the family, it's the neighbor. If it's not the neighbor, it's the people in the... Come on. Come on. Child is missing. And you mean to tell me this is what adults do to find a child? We already heard both Candace and Donald come out the gate as to how really concerned they are about finding Summer. We see what Grandis did. She packed up and left. I want no part of this shit. Had nothing to say to nobody. Come on now. Truth is right there. Now you can discern everything. It's easy. Don't get sidetracked or bamboozled by what other YouTubers say about other YouTubers trying to help. Come on. You've heard the term, oh, we're all adults here. I'll beg to differ. I beg to differ. Solid. It was all solid because you can decide that and discern that for yourself. Oh, y'all wanted to hear from me? Well, I'm talking. As of right now, I just got an update about the fund. When I saw it, when I woke up and had my cup of coffee, I heard that there were several people, or maybe a few, just a few, that wanted a refund. They wanted their money back and they wanted to use it directly in ways that they wanted to make that contribution anyway to write a check to the bank regarding the Summer Wells Fund. Okay, great. Okay, great. And it was stated that the only reason for the refund, now listen carefully, because this is where you have to discern again. The only reason for the refund or the request for a refund that was put into that is because of what happened at the very end of the marathon. Not anything during the marathon, because the marathon was closed. It's what happened after the marathon. Words were exchanged, attitudes were exchanged, and to a point to where that person or particular people that requested a refund decided to change their mind and wanted to be sure that they did it directly. Much love to those folks that did that. That's fine. John didn't do anything on the panel. He didn't do anything to stop all that atrocity on him. Hey, we're kicking back. The marathon's over. John didn't have to do shit. It's my channel. I wanted to hear what the man had to say, and I heard what he said. Just as well as I would allow anyone to say what they want to say. As I said, Scott is a full grown man. He is responsible for what he says. If you don't like what Scott says, okay, you connect with him. You talk to him, whether through a private chat or whether through, get in contact with him and say, yo, man, I saw you on I don't like what the hell you said. Oh, okay. That's between you and Scott then. Scott is his own man. He speaks his mind. He puts it on the table. I respect him for it. It did not take away anything from what we did because what we did together was already closed. It was done. The business of handling the marathon was done. And so if he decided to express himself personally based on a message that he received and wanted to share, took nothing away from that marathon. Absolutely nothing. I'm not going to get into the intricate details like Scott can get into regarding that message and what happened and the reasons why it happened, like he could. I'm going to let him do that. And rightfully so. He has the right to do that and express himself. What he did for that marathon, I got full admiration and respect for that man. What Penny did in the marathon, I've got love and full respect and admiration for her too. You can't take that away. The work is done. And I've got big mad love for what Miss Q not only has done regarding the marathon, but what she has done even right this very moment. She's in here listening to this live. That woman put her back out for this marathon, pedal to the metal, foot to the floor, and had the resources to do it. That's why it was just so successful. So if you have an issue with Scott, I suggest you speak to Scott about that issue. I don't have an issue with the guy. I don't. You have an issue with Penny? Discuss it with Penny. I don't have an issue with her. And likewise, you got an issue with anyone, I don't have an issue with. John Q does not have an issue with these folks. I don't. I'm very proud to say that I've worked with folks now completing this marathon that I've got much love and respect and trust for, because the people trusted us to carry it through, see it through to completion, and we did. Into one of the most phenomenal major successes I've ever seen on YouTube. And to be a part of it speaks volume. It does. So you have to separate and discern the bullshit from reality. I hope you do. And for those folks that were sitting there undecided about whether to get a refund or not, that's it's going to be your decision. I can't make that for you. Neither could Q or Scott or Penny or anyone that was a part of that marathon. Only you can decide that. We all put 1,000% into it. Look what happened. We changed the whole dynamic of the fund. Over 70% increased. I'm going to say to the YouTube community that was responsible for making a huge contribution, thank you. You made a big difference. And now we all will wait to see what kind of a difference those folks down there in Rogersville will make finding summer. Because we're going to keep a very careful eye on everything they do once the funds, through a chain of custody, has been designated and fulfilled. Now, you all sit there and say, what is a chain of custody? Chain of custody is a very secure, a very distinct way of taking the money that was raised and taking it from point A to point B without anybody else touching it. It's a legal chain of custody. And that'll be a major receipt to have, wouldn't it? We're in the process of getting ready to do that. However, with the numbers going down because of changed minds or requests for refunds, we have to wait till those numbers now stop. They're still coming in because I believe Miss Q was giving an update this afternoon that the fund was at $29,677.31. According to her recent live about an hour or so ago, she had that on a banner in her room discussing it with her audience. $29,677.31. So the fund didn't take a major impact, but yet still it has taken an impact. Because those that supported this marathon and saw what we did, like I said, you can't take it away from them. It's too transparent. Probably the best thing they've ever seen on YouTube. Knows what we did. You don't like John Q? For those of you who don't like John Q, God bless you. You know where to go. You don't like Q, you don't like Scott, you don't like Penny, you don't like uh, Jody Sue, anybody on the panel, anybody that was a part of the marathon. God bless you. You know where to go. Nobody's holding your hand. I damn sure I'm not going to hold your hand. $26,677.31. That's the last. However, during the course of this live, I do have an update. And I'm going to share it with you. And anyone who wants to speak with me concerning this live, my email is in the description box below. Whether it be anybody that I mentioned in tonight's live, if you want to talk to me, you can. Don't bring no bullshit. I won't give you none. Respect it. You don't give me none. Okay. So let me do this. What did I do with it? All right. Let me find that little panel there so I can give it to you. Obviously, I have to update it so you can see it. And I shall do just that. Y'all got me multitasking. Just give me a moment, folks. I'll get it to you. Give me a moment, folks. This is a great time to start texting me and all this other stuff. I'm live. Now I'm supposed to read something else. Oh, okay. Okay. I got this. You see? Mm, mm, mm. This is love. This is love. Somebody wanted me to do this. And I was working on giving you a new total. Thank you. That message. See, people still working together is like, okay, you can't take it away. You can't take this away. It's for Summer. This doesn't belong to anybody else but Summer. And there's some people out there that just don't get it. Guess what? You cannot educate stupid, so let them go. I am not going to try to educate stupid. That's not my department. No way in the world. That's a waste of time. And I see that during the course of my live, there's some folks that have changed their mind. Check it out. There are some folks that have changed their mind, and much love to them for doing so. Just double checking what I got. And I'm going to take this off because this is the way the rewards fund stands right now. And you deserve to see what transparency looks like because that's exactly what we have shared with you consistently throughout the 7-day lives. You can find 41 and a half hours of the live on my platform. You can find the same or equivalent or even more hours regarding the marathon on Miss Q's channel. You can find lives that Scott has done on his channel. You can find the live that we did with Miss Libby from True Crime with Miss Libby on her channel, because that's when we hit $8,002 and celebrated together. She had her family watching something on YouTube that was far more incredible to see happen than some of these damn cases that we cover. And hope the best result happens out of those cases. Missing kids, kids found dead, and all this other garbage that we have to present as content creators in the true crime community. Come on. Come on. So yes, we've got some folks who changed their mind. And well, I'll let you decide once again, since we're discerning the truth. This is where their minds went. From moments ago, before I went live, the grand total was $29,677.31, as I quoted you before. Now I'm going to show you which way the folks changed their mind. Are you ready? Here it is. So it is no longer 29,000. It is $30,762.07. Show some love for summer. See, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. So for anyone who made a contribution today, this beautiful Sunday of ours, post-marathon, doubters, shakers, quakers, shit kickers and everything, well, there's the decision right there. That's what the people just said. Right there. And numbers are still coming in. The numbers are still coming in, folks. So we have to wait 24 hours until the numbers actually stop. 24 hours, and then I'm going to come back on a live with Miss Q, and we're going to give you the final report, because we have to get a couple of additional items together. I'll tell you what they are. But for those people who changed their mind, much love to you for doing so. Thank you for allowing us to do what we did, but not only that, trusting us to do what we did, because there's nobody else that did what we did. Except talk smack. Oh my goodness. This is getting better, and I knew I had to go live because I had a few things to say. But let me get back on point. Let me get back on point, because I had to share that with you. I'm still recuperating from the 20 hours. Actually, to be precise as to the exact time of the live that I put on private, it was actually 20 hours, 21 minutes, and 15 seconds to be exact. I put a total of 41 and a half hours on my channel of that marathon. And everything, the bullshit that happened, is at the very end of that live post marathon time. Please understand that. Where's my receipt? Well, I'll give you your answer in a minute. People still asking for receipts. Okay. Let me see what else I had down here. All right. And so I decided and looked and wanted to give you the other side to this. We talked about discernment. I wanted to share some thoughts about discernment with you. I wanted to do that in very little time as possible, not to take up your time, but I wanted to point out just a few things when it comes to discernment. We see people do things, say things, do things, say things, do things, say things. The marathon for the reward fund says a lot, but it damn sure does a lot now. And we don't have to sit at home looking at this story, hoping and praying something changes about it. Well, folks, we made a change together. This is what we did. Those folks that decided to change their mind is right there before you. I thank you for that. I thank everyone for that. Okay, no problem. I thank everyone for that. Let's talk about integrity. Okay, John, you've covered discernment. You've made some good points, and most likely definite good points to look at in deciding whether we did was good or bad. I'm on the good side. There are many people who supported this event. Stays on the good side. So, like I said, it's not $29,677 no more and 31 cents. It is $30,762 and 0 cents. Well, 7 cents actually. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take that down. All right. I wanted to share something with you about integrity. Now, with all this money on the table, now, what's going to happen? Oh, good question. I'm glad you asked. I'm very glad you asked. Marathon's over. What we did for summer is we did for summer. What we're going to see people do now for summer, oh, pay careful attention. This is going to get better. More and more of the truth is going to come out. And when it does, all we want is that one thing. Let them find summer, positive or negative. Let them find her so that the proper thing can happen. Proper closure, at least. I don't like to use the word closure because there's never any closure if it is a death. There's never any closure when it's a death. You can't walk away from that. That stays with you for the rest of your life. I don't know where the hell I got that damn word from. Doesn't work. So that the proper thing can happen for summer. If it's a celebration in which I pray and hope it will be, because that's what I pray for. That's what I want. That's what everybody on the team wanted. That's what I want. But if it's the other thing, then we can do the right thing and provide the right service. Just to know finally the truth. Just the truth. This is a hard case to work. I've never worked anything like this in my life. And to see what happened in it, at least I can walk away from this case knowing that I was a part of something that made a positive change for this case. And that no one can take away from me because God gave that to me. And He not only gave it to me, He gave it to you. He gave it to you, gave it to all of us. So now let's talk about integrity. What happens to the funds now? My responsibility to this whole process and project is that number one, this reward fund was set up by Tim Coop. Okay. He knows exactly what was set up regarding this fund. Search and rescue. He was down there, boots on the ground, looking for that girl day after day after day after day. It turned into a month. Had to call in resources like EquiSearch to get in there. Not only once, twice. Twice. Dave Rader, I got so much love for you guys and EquiSearch for doing what you guys did to try to find that baby. I do. We want to find out what kind of an account this is that these funds dollars are going into. We want to find out if it's an interest-bearing account at the Civis Bank. We want to find out about this 6-month term. What happens to it when it expires? Does it automatically renew? Or should a request go in for the renewalship? What happens to the funds if they're not used and summer's not found? There are many different dynamics and parameters concerning this particular part of what we're about ready to do. But we want in writing the terms and conditions of this account. We can line up a chain of custody for the disbursement of the funds on our side directly to the bank. This way, we get a chain of custody receipt and also a receipt from the bank regarding the full transmission of every single penny that was raised. And then for those of you still shouting out in the background, oh, we want a receipt, we want a receipt, we want a it'll be posted on the community wall proudly. Thank God we don't have to make photocopies just to let everybody know what it is. We can post it on a community wall. And then what will you do then? Still talk shit? Okay, like I said, you can't educate stupid. You can't. I don't mess around and bother my time with it. No. I don't like John Kill. Okay, God bless you. Anyway, this will maintain the integrity fully from what was already put in place regarding the marathon, the process of the marathon, the completion of the marathon, and now the integral part of the marathon is the chain of custody of these funds going from point A, where they are right now, to point B, where they belong to support in finding summer. I can't give it to you no more simpler than that. So anyone that has connections with Tim Coop, who set up the account, please contact John Q. My email's in the description box. I need to get a copy of the terms and conditions regarding the account. Once I do, then I will go live and cover that information with you. If we need to cover any stipulations, changes, additions, whatever, that need to be included, we'll give you an update on anything pertaining to that concerning the funds. My point in doing this is to protect the integrity of our efforts in the marathon and the money on the table. And we want to ensure that everything that is on the table is protected. Soon as people see money, they go crazy. Because this is going to be one hell of a deposit, all in one transaction on the Summer Wells Reward Fund, coming from the YouTube community, the true crimes community, and those outside of the community, outside the United States of America, because those people really supported this effort to change the reward fund to where it is now. So it is my job to give you the final amount figure tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, along with Miss Q. We will give you the final figure because the figures are going to change again. You don't believe me? Watch this. Just in case those naysayers are waving their hands at their computer screen. Okay. You're waving at your computer screen. Let me find it. And if Kraken Cases wants to get in contact with me, email me, please. Using your name in tonight's live and in no way, shape, or form puts any shade on you whatsoever. If you didn't know something, okay. If you did know something, okay. Let's talk about it. We can talk about it. And if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine too. I think they did a fabulous job on their live covering the billboards. They went out of their way, their team alone, nobody else, in collaboration with nobody else, was able to raise money for the billboard. I don't see anybody bitching to him about that now. Huh? Oh, well, you're raising money through a Cash App and PayPal and everything else like that? Oh, I want a receipt. I hope they're not doing that, Cam. I don't think they are. I wonder why. Not bitching to you about it. Oh, but they're bitching about something else pertaining to What we did? What you did was masterful. And you did it on your own channel. You did it with your own people. You're down there with Chase. You're connecting with him. It's beautiful. You're putting in a different effort than we did. That's all. But that's the love everyone has for summer. We can all do different things. But for you to raise money, not be afraid to raise money, now that is a man of responsibility. Sure enough. So my hat and respect's off to you regarding that. I don't know you, never met you, and I certainly haven't ever talked to you. But I see the work you do. What you do speaks so loud. What is said about you, I don't know about. I don't really care about it. God helps me to discern these things, and the truth is revealed. So, to you and your partner, and all of your audience, every one who supported that effort on your team, much love from John Q. And I know Miss Q is proud of you guys too for doing that. That's an accomplishment of a content creator that's willing to man up and stand up and deliver. And that you can't take away, because that's what they did. And in fact, from that same video I shared with you, in fact, the billboard should be ready and up by tomorrow. That will expose 1 million people per day at best. Summer Wells's face and everything. Here we are doing a little something with the merchant store, putting Summer Wells's face on a hoodie, a t-shirt, coffee cup. Come on. Walking billboards, if you will, going to Walmart, Kmart, ShopRite, Payless, restaurants, McDonald's, Burger King, doctor offices, gas stations, supermarket. Do I need to go down the list? Okay, so for those that are sitting at their computer, still waving, I don't like what John Q is saying. That's fine. That's okay. I'm going to say what I came here to say. You wave at your computer during this live right now. Well, let me wave back and give you this. Take a look at that. I just started my live 2 hours ago. You want a receipt? Yeah, there it is. Screenshot that shit. That's for summer. That's for summer. Erica M., much love to you. You took us over. You took us here. Erica M. took it over. Took it over. Like I said, they're still coming in. That's the love people have for summer. This stuff just keeps coming in. This is unbelievable. No one can deny this. If they do, like I said, you can't educate stupid. Leave them alone. Let them go away. They're going to talk shit anyway. But look at the result. Keep talking shit and watch the numbers change again. That's what's happening. Your talking shit is making the numbers go up. So, yeah, as an indirect negative contribution to the positive contribution that's before you, keep talking shit. How's that? Wave the frickin' red flag on the number because we already see what direction it's going in. I thank you very much. The Summer Wells, you read it right there. Civers Bank Reward Fund is now $31,000. Cue the truth. Cue the truth. Cue the truth. I'm not sitting up here talking about Scott. I already talked about Scott. I'm not sitting up here talking about Penny. I didn't come up here to talk about Penny. I'm not sitting up here to talk about Q. I'm not talking about Q. Or Jody Sue. Or Miss V. True Crimes Talks. Or anybody. Except the ones that I have spoken about. This has nothing to do with them. I already know what they have done. I'm just trying to figure out what you're doing. So keep talking shit. I bet you before I get off this live, that number will change again. Thank you. Thank you all for that. I didn't expect that at all. I didn't expect a lot of things out of this. We expected to just raise a little bit just to make a difference. But look at where it is. Look. Look where it is. I didn't come here to talk about the people that I ran with. I do have my thoughts about the people that didn't run with us, that didn't carry the banner. Miss Sharon carried the banner from Down Under, True Crimes Down Under True Crime. Yeah, her channel, that's what put me to sleep. And I got up 5 hours after because the torch was passed and I had to make sure that our team went to the finish line and won this. Put a lock on this. And this is what we did. Thank you, Miss Sharon. I got much love from the team through me and me to you. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for carrying the blue banner, the torch for summer on your channel. You have made a major difference. Thank you, Miss Libby from True Crimes with Libby on her channel. She carried the banner. I got much love for her and her family for helping push this number where it is today. Thank you so much. Miss Q Carlock, I'm speechless. I am totally speechless. I have never met anyone on YouTube that has the fortitude and integrity like she is, like she has, who took on such a huge responsibility, a major one that is never, it's just an idea. That's all it is. She must be talking shit. No, quite frankly, no, she wasn't talking shit. This woman put it out there day after day, night after night. I couldn't do lives like she does, covering all of these stories about these children going missing. I can only handle one case at a time. Look at her channel. Look how many children and different stories that she covers on her channel. And if you're not subscribed to anyone that is part of this team, you please do. They deserve it. She stood shoulder to shoulder. We went back to back since day one till the final hour of 12 midnight yesterday. Unrelenting until we got there. Working numbers, making sure the store items were updated. She was designing stuff to go in the store at the same time she was running the marathon. Did she have time to talk to anybody? Oh, you ask her. You ask her. PayPals, Cash Apps, merch stuff. And then you got to divide profit from the merch stuff to go into the fund. You got to collect all the PayPals, read who they're from to make sure that you have all of the receipts in line and can be deliverable on the spot at any given time going forward in the near future. If she's got it, got the records. She's bookkeeping and accounting at the same time. She's doing a marathon, staying up well over 20 fucking hours, putting her heart out there. She has never done anything like this before. I've never done anything like this before. Neither has anybody that was on the panel has ever did anything like this before. However, we have changed that paradigm, haven't we? We made a paradigm shift. And all we did along the way was shift gears to meet the need. And that's what brought us here. Right there, right now. So you decide. Use your own discernment. Those inside the marathon know what I'm talking about. Those outside the marathon, they also know what I'm talking about. You can flip that coin any which way you want. Either way, summer wins. Summer wins. Because that's what this whole damn thing is about. People have the tendency to get into conversations and forget what the damn conversation's all about 2 seconds after you have it. I know Chris Madonna is proud of what we have done. Him and his family, him and his effort that went out there boots on the ground to give us something we did not have that changed the whole dynamic of this story. Much love to Chris Madonna and his family, Karen, Dylan, his whole entire crew. I couldn't have done that. I would have loved to have done that. Been boots on the ground down there, covering what he did the way he did, because what he did, my goodness, I'm speechless. Thank you, Chris, Karen, Dylan, You have made a major contribution and difference to the Summer Wells case. But working alongside Miss Q, I'm speechless. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for being there, for not letting any of this bullshit deter you from stepping away from it in midstream, for not letting the naysayers get under your skin in a way to say, you know something, what the hell? This ain't working. No. What did she do? Hence, cue the truth. Cue the truth. That's what she did. I got much love for her. She's all the way on the west side. I'm all the way on the east side. But we made sure that this thing here called the Summer Wells Marathon, along with the other content creators that work shoulder to shoulder, side by side, hour to hour, night and day by day, till we finished. Yeah, I'm not embarrassed at all. I'll run with you guys any day of the week. Just tell me when, I'll be there. Integrity. Those that don't know about it, that had nothing to do with this whole marathon, this whole fundraising event, please go to your dictionary and look it up and maybe slice off a good piece for yourself and start behaving that way. Because your bullshit don't work here. Much love to all those. Miss Lip Lock No More. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for posting all the updates, especially the final ones of every single day, 7 days of the live we did of the marathon we ran. Thank you, sweetheart. She didn't have to do that. But you know why she did that? She wanted to share in her entire joy and love for what we were doing with her audience. I wish I could say that for some of the other content creators who posed like they wanted to help Summer but didn't. Thank you, Joshua Diaz from the lab. You know what he did? I talked to you about the anonymous donors, 2 of them, separate in time, who wanted us to match $1,000. We do 1,000, they would match it. Not once, but twice. And Joshua Diaz from the lab, God bless that brother. I got much love and respect for his channel. He covers it like no other, especially a look at time. That video piece will go down in true crimes history as one of the best pieces, and the letter as well, a collector's item for what you did for Summer Wells. Thank you, brother. He came in with an anonymous donor, and what happened? Another matching $1,000 offer on the table. What did we do? We responded. What happened? All 3 of those matching offers were satisfied and completed. That's what happened. Thank you, brother. I can go on and on all night, but I'm not going to do that. That's integrity, folks. That right there is an integrity. When a call to action has been sent out and the truth seekers, the heart seekers get together, this is what we can do together. Look at the screen. So in tomorrow night's live, I will have a final report along with Miss Q. Once we do, and we have the information as to how and what kind of an account this money is going into, we will follow, just like true crime talks as it is, follow the money, right? You follow the money. That's what we're going to do. And we want an accounting system in place to access information as to how the money is being used. I'm asking for everything because this is everything that we gave thus far. But you're entitled to it. That's how serious I am about what we did. So this is not over. We just changed the game. That's all we did. We spoke. This is about them out there recognizing respect for us. When we are called to the line, well, who steps up? I know who. Do you? Do you? Who came to the line in this? And that'll give you your answer right there. I mean, it's 1+1 stuff. Elementary, for lack of a better word I can think of. I love every single one of you for making this happen. And it's moment to moment. I don't know where this number is going right now. That's what happens when momentum kicks in. You can't stop it. Even if you wanted to stop it, you couldn't. That's what the love for summer has done. Mm. My job in this right now is to make sure that integrity stays focused on the table. We get a chain of custody attached to these dollars. I will never touch it. Q will never touch it. Scott will never touch it. Penny will never touch it. Chase will not. Well, we were talking about Chase getting a certified bank check. And we have to find out how, from the bank, how they want this money delivered. Let's see what they put on the table, and then we can decide from there. Which is easier? Which has a more trackable paper trail? We'll find out because we're asking for the terms and conditions of the account. So that's what we're waiting for. Anyone with that information, please email me, contact me. If you need my phone number, we'll exchange it there and begin a conversation so we can get this done. None of us want the damn money. We want the money to go to the bank so these funds can be accessed to help find summer. I can't say it any more simpler than that. So what happened today happened. Incorporate this live along with the lives that you have experienced already, and I guarantee you, the Summer Wells Reward Fund will stay right there, just the way it is, if not better, by the time you wake up tomorrow. That's where we stand. And if anybody goes live after my live tonight, listen carefully. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. They say, don't take candy from strangers. It's going to be hilarious. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But the truth is right there before you. Let's see what they do to try to change it. They could say anything they want about me. I don't care. I never gave it my attention anyway, so maybe I'm stupid in that area. I'm glad I am. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, be stupid when it comes to bullshit, and you'll be fine. Squelching bullshit, you'll be fine. Mute the shit, you'll be fine. That's what I do. I see it in the chat all the time I go live. I don't pay that shit no mind. I stay on point in my presentation, give it to you as best as I can within the time limit I have, and then boom, let you decide. And so far, all I get is thumbs up. Go ahead, John. Keep pushing, keep going, brother. I like your content. Your perspective is different than anybody else's. Thank you. And I know that for a fact because just yesterday, 24 hours ago? It was 24 hours ago. I was at 8,000. I guess somewhere in that ballpark, just almost kissing a new milestone on my channel. I get up today, I went over 9,000 easy. Happy birthday, John Q, is what people said. I got your back, brother. I like your content. You carry yourself very well. I say thank you. Who knows where the number will go tomorrow? Well, the only place for it to go is up, just like the reward fund. Just like the reward fund going up. It should. It should be 10 times this amount, just my opinion. To go find summer, yes. Because if it'll make somebody talk, damn it to hell, yes. Get them, put them in a box, and keep them in the box until it's over. It should have had folks in the box and kept them in the box. This would have been over already. But we see some people finagling with some shit. The names are starting to pop up to the top of this case. True Crimes Commentary, Mr. Scott, coming up with some fabulous information right there, boots on the ground stuff. But it will come to the top. It has no choice but to come to the top. Why? Because the people down below are squeezing it to the top. And the marathon is exactly the tool that will squeeze it to the top. John Q is not talking about whipped cream tonight. I did for the last 7 days, but not tonight. I'm giving it to you from where it is, just like it is. Like I said, my email's there. You want to talk to me? Let's have an intelligent conversation. I'm not going to stand around for the ignorance and stupidity. You won't get my attention that way. I'll let the people decide. Just like they decided the Summer Wells Reward Fund Marathon we did. I'll let them decide. So if you have your skeezies out there that's looking to naysay this whole thing, well, obviously you can discern. They haven't done a damn thing but be a spectacle anyway. That's what they will remain to be. Entertainment. I'm not bashing him. He does his own thing. Guess what? I do mine. Or any other content creator out there, I don't bash them. They do their thing. John Q does his. I like you. I'll send you into orbit. I've been dropping names on my platform since day one. Getting together, getting together, getting together, getting together, getting together. Let's do something together. Let's unite. I've been doing that since day one. All of a sudden, guess what? I guess we hit one that has now made a difference and is going to make a difference for summer. Rogersville, Tennessee has got my full, undivided attention concerning the reward fund. If there's any eyes on anybody on YouTube, it should be on Rogersville, Tennessee. They're going to say some shit about what we did. That's good. We got their attention. All we're going to do is turn around and say, now, what are you going to do about it? Okay? What you going to do about it? Do we have to do one more again? One more again? Because we could, but we don't have to. We got to see what they do now. People have spoken. I am so glad that they did. Damned if they can't hear us now. And if they can't hear us now, guess what? Those people should be fired from the jobs. Cleaned out. Cleaned out. And put some people in there that want to go to work and do the right thing. You know, when you got old money floating in old places and shit don't grow, shit don't change, guess what you get? You get old shit that don't change. See? 1 + 1. You put some new stuff in there, like you do when cars break down. Car runs perfect. Old shit never runs good in a brand new car. This is a brand new car right here in front of you. A brand new car. Why give it to some old shit? But we got to check it out first. And that is where integrity steps up. I'm going to make sure that we get what we need to make sure that summer's reward fund is not messed with. And if it is, we're going to shout to the high heavens, make sure that they're held accountable for it. Now, if there's anyone who agrees with what I shared with you this evening, if I put everything that you wanted to know that I talked about on the table concerning not only the marathon, concerning not only the folks that we had up on the screen, concerning not only the contributors, especially the anonymous contributors, the supporters, the content creators that supported on the panel, the special guest visit by Chris Madonna, especially Jody Sue. Type a 1 in the chat, just as an acknowledgement for everyone that's watching, and those in the bushes too. If you feel like moving your computer finger, type a 1 in the chat. Say that this was worth it. That John Q laid down some stuff tonight. Let's see where we go. Let's see where we go. We're just going to take a moment to look at the responses. There you go. There's your answer. Yes, indeed, it was very well worth it. We're not finished, folks. Thank you. Thank you. We're not finished, folks. Miss Q and I have some business to discuss and talk about going forward. That is a lady of integrity. That is a lady of honesty, fortitude, and she deserves the respect of everything that she's put into this marathon to win for summer. Please make sure that she gets that. Mr. Boss Blake, my brother, out there, worked with me behind the scenes to provide the music that we shared during the marathon. That man has got a heart of gold for what he did for my platform. Cue the Truth, Table Talk. He helped those two programs to win. Tonight, if anything, if I could say it, is your first one-on-one with John Q on Cue the Truth. An inside look of John Q on Cue the Truth. What's he talking about? Because it's just me up here. I'm revealing to you a lot about me, not by what I say, but by what I do. And if I haven't cued the truth with you tonight, and you didn't hear it, re-listen, go back over this again. I just wanted to bring up a couple of points tonight to share with you about work that was done to completion yesterday. Discern the marathon completely. If you're worried about the 10 minutes or the 15 minutes at the very end post marathon, you're welcome to the garbage. Please enjoy it. We'll even give you a straw if necessary, and a napkin if you need to wipe your lips from it. We will provide full accommodations to the bullshit that you want, and rightfully so, that you rightfully deserve. So enjoy those 10 minutes. Swallow it down deep. Make sure it hits the gut, because when you decide to take a shit, you will feel it until next year. Maybe even longer than that. Because shit always produces more shit. If you don't believe me, like I said, once my live is over, you'll go and check it out. You'll see who's pushing it. And like I said, I'm good. I'm good. And I'm glad to know that everyone that supported this marathon that we did is good too. People who calling all over the world yesterday into the marathon live, they're good too. The anonymous donors that hit us up 3 times, they're good too. The huge contributors of this marathon, reward fund marathon, they're good too. I have never seen love, compassion, and generosity, such as this marathon for summer. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I'm going to get down to my final point and I'm going to close up. Because, like I said, I'm not here to be with you all night. I still have to recuperate from the 20 hours I put in and the 5-hour nap I took afterwards. What about the video, John? Everyone is asking about the final marathon video. Will I put that video up? Answer: yes. Will the video be intact and not edited, altered, changed in any way, shape, or form? Answer: yes. There will be two versions of the video. One will be the commemorative version, which will be edited because we don't need the bullshit in that. For everyone who supported it, who would like that version, they have the option to view that version. The full version for the leeches and the suckers and all of that other bullshit that out there, I'm going to post that too. And it will be complete. 20 hours, 21 minutes, and 15 seconds worth. From the very start, early that morning that I arose out of that 5-hour nap, you will have it on the table. All the way till the very last second, I click that live off. And whatever you choose to enjoy, enjoy it well. All of it. All of it. Please do. But the commemorative version of for those that want to hold the memory of summer in their mind, the quest for summer's return in their mind, the hope for summer's return in their mind, fully intact. Because the marathon had nothing to do with the last 10, 15, 20, half hour, whatever you want to call it, bullshit that showed up at the very end. Okay? I will determine a time once we come back with the report. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. So, oh, okay. Everyone approves of that. Very good. Because I know that Miss Q would want to, and I'm sure Scott would want to, Miss Penny would want to, Jody Sue would want to, Chris Madonna would want to have the commemorative version of that video intact without the bullshit. And I believe so would all of the contributors to the fund. So I'm going to give you both answers. Yes, the video will be going back. And which one you choose to watch, that's up to you. But yes, the truth will always be and always remain transparent on my platform. Cue the truth. See if I forgot anything here I wanted to cover with you. So that leads us now to the integrity part. As I said, we're not finished. This just gives us a new level to play on. And the level we're playing on is security and protection. That's my department. Q and I are taking full responsibility for the chain of custody to have these funds transferred directly to the recipient source that's going to be handling the fund account. That's a job. That's our next step. The recipient themselves will have to give us information about everything about the account so that we can report that to you. That's called accountability. And as far as anyone else having any issues with Scott, take it up with him. The man has done nothing but good for me, in spite of what you may think about him. You haven't been around him long enough to understand him. Stick around. Maybe you'll learn something. We're not all perfect. Come on now. None of us are perfect. We just work at our best to be as perfect as we possibly can. And guess what? I got a surprise for you. We're still working on it. Just like everybody else working on it. So if you're pointing the finger of blame at anybody concerning anything negative or bad, remember when you point the finger away from you, pointing to somebody else, there's three fingers pointing back at you. Double check yourself. Double check yourself. Ask yourself the reason why you're about to say what you're about to say to somebody that's going to be negative. What is your gain from that? It's only going to come back to you threefold. That's why I say check yourself. Because I'm solid with me. Can you say the same thing about you? I pray you can. You come on YouTube and you present whatever it is you are delivering who you are, and your character will be revealed to you every single time you do. Be careful. What light do you want people to remember you by? Good or bad? Choice is yours. I'm not giving you that choice. You already have it. You just have to maybe rub two brain cells together in that skull of yours, maybe warm up some others that'll support that effort. That's all you have to do. Thoughts are things, folks. Thoughts are things. And those things that are manifested in the physical world are the truth. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's boldly right in your face. If you misinterpret anything from it, you need to go back and check it again thoroughly before you open your mouth to act like you know the facts and don't know shit. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be open unto you. All you have to do is put in the effort. Huh? Now, I didn't write that, but I know who did. I know who did. We'll be back with you tomorrow night. Cover the completion and final fun report. I'm excited about that. I can't wait to talk to Miss Q about that. And we will deliver it to you together. You are going to see what content creators do when they do what they did the last 7 days for Summer Wells. I tried to keep this as short as possible, as direct as possible, and to a degree as clean as I could possibly deliver it. but that's to a degree. I hope everyone's got this message straight now. If you screw it up, it's not on me, it's on you. I don't think you can. Not unless you intend to, with malice or forethought. And if you do, well, we know about you. And if you don't have any malice or forethought, and you love exactly what's developing on the Summerwells case, yeah, stick with us. Stick with us. We're going to stick with you. We'll be here. Ain't nobody running nowhere. Ain't nobody running nowhere. Stick with us. Because when you step up, now you have to deliver. Well, I'm here to tell you that's the next step, delivery. That'll be tomorrow night. I have not laid my eyes on reading any comments tonight because it was a message I wanted to deliver. I know that there are a lot of comments. I'll go back over them after the live. But if you need to direct anything at me or Miss Q regarding the marathon, email me. Don't bombard her with bullshit. Not right now. She's trying to get things wrapped up for final delivery and chain of custody over to the recipient that's going to be responsible for this fund, for the funds. Okay? So you got some shit to say directed at me. My email will be in the description box. If you'd like to support the channel, my Cash App is down there too. But like I said, we're just starting, folks. We only gave them a little tremor, that's all. But they feel it. They damn sure feel this. And when we come back tomorrow night, they will feel the next step coming. Because they didn't see this one coming. But the next step they will feel. And they will see us coming. We're in full battle gear. Summer's army did not stop marching. Summer's army has only gained momentum. And if there's no substance in what you say, we're going to run right over your ass. So you might as well get out the way now. Or just come join us. How's that? As an idea. Come join us. Just come join us. It don't take that much more effort. In fact, it takes less effort to join us than the bullshit you're pushing. That takes a lot of work. I hope you're getting paid doing that. I hope you're getting paid doing that. Maybe that's the reason why they have to push the bullshit, John. Chat. Because they're getting paid on bullshit. Oh, what a damn idea that is. Didn't the light bulb go off in your head? John, didn't you realize that the bullshit that's what they're getting paid on? Damn right. Okay. Oh, man. No wonder they work so hard in pushing it. Oh, man. Mm. That's why I give you straight content from my platform because monetize, John, monetize. No, because when you watch my videos, you don't have to worry about a commercial popping up. You don't have to worry about shit flashing on the right side of the screen called buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me all the fucking time. No. I want my content straight, not touched with commercials, all this other winky dink shit that they throw up there just for people to get paid. I want my content 1,000% in front of you. Consistent, congruent, strong and straight. This way, if you start at the beginning and you get to the very end, nothing interrupted you. We got enough interruptions and distractions as it is. Why in the hell would I think to throw in a commercial up there just to get paid pennies on the fucking dollar? Don't make no sense. YouTube robs you. I said, no, I'll provide full 1000% content. And if I have my little Cash App up there or my little PayPal like this, watch this. Just for a moment. You see what's scrolling underneath the reward fund? Right there. If I have that little banner just tickling across, it's because it's there for a reason. John's channel is not monetized. I'm not racing. I'm not running towards monetization. And the music that we played during the course of the marathon, those videos would have been definitely struck with copyright strikes on it. We couldn't have done that. We couldn't have done it. But we did it because we wanted to do it and made sure that everyone enjoyed every moment of that marathon. And I hope you did. I certainly did. The team that ran those 7 days certainly did. The people that were online throughout the night supporting us certainly did. And in the morning when we had our coffee certainly did. And after lunchtime, like they certainly did. I keep it simple, folks. We already know what's complicated. And from the early starts of today, this morning, well, you saw how complicated it got. I was trying to get some rest after a 20-hour final run. I slept okay, but I got to still adjust my clock. I screwed it up for the last 7 days. Oh, did I tear into my clock? Holy smoke. Oh, but my best friend, Coffee, and well, my partner. I'm not going to say because I'm not here to talk to you about that. Not tonight. But you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, leave Q alone. She's done nothing but good for the Summer Wells case. She will go down in history for the Summer Wells case for doing what she did. I applaud her, I stand with her, and I'll step right up for her for everything that she did. You got whatever it is that you want to say, you better be careful. Because you set Q off. You ever see a Q on fire? You ever see a Q on fire? It don't play, I'm telling you. It's not like the letter O or the letter D or the letter A. That's that Q letter. Round in shape, consistent, 360 degrees. But it's got a little end on it that, man, if you touch it, you get burned. Be careful when you're messed with a Q. And she don't play. I'm serious. She don't play. Most of you know her. She gets on fire. You better be out the room. You better be out the room. Not even a halogen fire extinguisher could put it out. Forget water. That'll only piss it off more. The Q's got some fire. I like that. It's a sign of integrity there because she's willing to fight for something and stand up for something. Because if you're not willing to fight for something and stand up for something, you'll fall for anything. Just like some of the other people I talked about tonight. Just say a prayer for them. That's all you can do. Just say a prayer for them. Just say a prayer. I had to reschedule table talk tonight because of this nonsense that I wanted to clear up tonight. And that table talk, it has been rescheduled for next Sunday, same time. It will be with Miss Q Carlock of Q Carlock and Q Carlock 2 platform. She'll be joining us and sharing a lot of great information. We lined up a very good agenda, but hence we just completed the marathon. I want to give us some time to rest, recoup, get our time clock back on track, get some sleep, and then we can, boom, come back on schedule with our regularly scheduled program. We will be live on Wednesday for Q Square, where we get together and enjoy each other's company, talk about great topics, and really have a good time. That's why we created that platform, so to speak, on my channel. And she's just been just an awesome, awesome, awesome co-host for that. And we kick it all throughout through the night into the morning, and sometimes we see the sun come up together. Well, my sun comes up before hers, since we're in different time zones. But that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. I hope what you got from me tonight definitely is something that you can walk away with security, knowing now that I've spoken. Thank you for the love in the chat, the hearts, the 100s, the thumbs up. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Summer's Army, that's right, GMA. GMA, Butterflies, Summer's Army. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Okay, I'm just getting some emails in. I will address those emails. I'll be up. I'll be up for a little while. I will be up for a little while. I'm taking care of some things and making sure that my day tomorrow is 100% for you, and 1,000% when I'm with Miss Q. It's always 1,000. I got to come with 100, but I know where the other 900 comes from. Oh my goodness! No need to make reservations. You know what you're going to get. Definitely. But with that said, just be careful out there in these streets. Really. It's been amazing. And once again, I we could not have done any of this without you. All across the globe. We couldn't have done nothing like this without you. But we did do it with you. We all did it with each other. We became one sound unit that made the difference because it's right there on the screen. We will be reporting a final report of all of our efforts tomorrow night. I'll get it posted while I'm working here tonight. When you see it, just click your attendance button, call the like button, says I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there. That's how we take attendance on my channel. That just lets me know you'll be there. I'm not saying, and also it does help the algorithm get the message out. That's what I look at the like button as. Not liking it because it's just something entertaining that you want to do. No, you know why you're there, and it's a record of your attendance. That's all. Oh, thank you all for supporting this channel, supporting what we do here on this channel. One last thing. If you don't have anything nice to say to Mr. Scott, I suggest you don't. He's a full-grown man and he knows how to take care of himself, and so help me, if you don't have that evidence available, just don't do it. He will shine a light. He will reveal the truth. Don't do it to Penny either, because that's 9 times. Remember, we come in with 1, the women come in with 9. That's 1,000. It would be best to say we wash our hands from all of it, but I mean, that's the way I would love it, But if we have to deal with any more bullshit, that's easy for me. It's easy for me. I told you tonight how I handled it. You're just gonna waste your time. You have something to say, you can email me. Don't put it in public. People who do that in public, what is that about? People who do shit like that in public. You have something to say to somebody, just email them. Get them on the phone if you have the number. Do a little private chat. Look, I got an issue. Could we clear this up? Hey, you full of shit? Oh, no, I'm not full of shit. You full of shit? Oh, no, I'm not full of shit. Oh, okay, so we can get this off the table, right? We're both not full of shit. Yeah, okay. And then you can agree to something. No more shit on the table. But if they like the shit on the table, then you talk about it, debate about it, crash it up, or crunch it up, chop it up. I just don't know anybody who'd like to chop up shit. That smells like hell. And then it lingers too with brand new more shit. Could you imagine what that smells like? After a while, shit, 5 minutes is enough. Those are the people that like to live with it, hang around it, be about it. And that's just not my neighborhood. And that's cool. I'm cool with it. I'm very cool with that. But like I said, I got much love for the team I run with. I got much respect for what we have done. I have love and respect for everyone that made what you see on the screen before you a reality. That talks volume. That speaks louder than the bullshit spoken with nothing. That's discernment, and that's integrity. You pick and choose. You have the freedom to choose at any time which ones you want to apply and implement in your life. I do these 2 things every single day of my life because my life is so important. It counts for something. Just like everybody's life counts for something. Just like Summer's life counts for something. So you better come with discernment, and you better have some integrity when you have Summer Wells's name in your mouth on your channel. Self-evident on my channel and Q Carlock's channel, Scott's channel, Penny's channel, True Crime Talks channel, Miss Libby's channel, Sharon's channel, Mr. Boss Blake's channel, he might not be into the cases as deep as we are, but the brother has, when it comes to these kids, man, look out. That brother moves heaven and earth to deliver. And I am so proud and honored to know every single one of them. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to wrap this up. I spent a little time with you just covering just some of the dynamics of what we have concluded about the marathon. I will be coming back with you tomorrow, as I said, with the final report and a time release for the original, unedited, unaltered final marathon that we just got finished wrapping up. And then you can see for yourself which part of the marathon you truly hold dear and what part of the marathon you don't. Okay? So, with that said, for all of you who decided to join me here tonight for a short talk, a one-on-one Cue the Truth with me, thank you. Be well and stay blessed with Godspeed. Justice for Summer Wells, for the Summer Wells Army. We are still marching forward. We're marching stronger than ever, and the best is yet to come. Much love, one love. Keep that love strong with Godspeed. Good night.